Tonight, Emerald braces for evacuation. A city of 14,000 about to be engulfed by floods.
Families rescued as the worst reveals itself in Bundaberg.
It was worse than what I had in my head.
Rockhampton's next. The Premier declares this our toughest hour.
But Queensland heroes always surface and will need them now more than ever.
Across Queensland, this is 10 News at 5 with Max Futcher and Lexi-Hamilton Smith.
Good evening. Day 4 of Queensland's flood disaster is centring on Bundaberg and Emerald. Every day, enough water to fill Sydney Harbour twice is pouring over Bundaberg's Paradise Dam and into the city, creating a flood not seen there since the 1940s. And in Emerald, 80% of that city will be flooded this time tomorrow, forcing up to 8,000 people out of their homes. More on that in a moment, but first to Bundaberg and the disaster that unfolded after dark.
In a city under siege by water, two teenagers tried to take a shortcut along a railway track. One boy climbed up onto a container and was struck by a high voltage power line.
Well, sadly, the news only gets worse in Emerald. As predicted, the water levels are higher than in 2008. A few days ago, Theodore became our first town to be completely evacuated. As Anthony Donaghy reports, Emerald, with a population of 14,000, is close to becoming the first city to go the same way.
Emerald is becoming an island. Torrents of water are rapidly rising and the authorities are powerless to stop it. The people here are starting to lose their patience.
And whatever water sweeps through Emerald is on its way to Rockhampton. The Fitzroy River is expected to reach 9 metres by the weekend and keep rising.
In Rockhampton, they remember their records on the Fitzroy River flood marker. There'll be another one going up very soon.
91 was the real good one, so it'll be real good if it beats that, that's for sure.
And it looks like it will. A river height of 9 metres is predicted for Sunday, on its way higher, much higher.
Another town, Condamine, has been evacuated too. All 100 residents have been airlifted to Dalby. Trucks carted clean water into the Darling Downs today as the threat of waterborne diseases increases.
All hands are on deck in Dalby's messy clean-up. Rural fire crews helping to hose down more than 100 homes that went under.
And Reuben Mourad joins us now from the Weather Channel. Reuben, let's look at the forecast for these flooded areas. What's in store for Emerald first up?
Yeah, well, Max, we're expecting peaks around the Emerald region to really start moving through over the next 24 hours into Friday. Now, we're seeing major flooding all the way from Theodore right through to Baralaba through the next week or so, despite, as you can see here, some slightly dry conditions right across the area. So in terms of actual rainfall, we're not expecting too much over the next 48 hours at all. What about for Bundaberg and Rockhampton? Yeah, now across Bundaberg, the rain has eased. It was a dry day today for the most part. We could see some showers returning over the next couple of days, but the good news is that these falls will be considerably lighter. We're not expecting anything anywhere near what we saw over the past couple of days. Now, we're seeing major flooding along the Burnett River affecting Bundaberg, with the river peaking this morning at around 7.85 metres. It's expected to fall slowly over the next 48 hours, but meanwhile, it has been the biggest flood peak we've seen here since around 1942. Rockhampton too has seen some dry conditions today. It's been relatively good news for the area. We could see a few showers returning towards the start of the weekend. We did see we're going to see a peak of around 9.5 metres by around Tuesday next week, so it's not going to be for quite some time. It'll be a similar height though to what we've seen in 1991 and 1994 with the flooding there. It's expected to remain up about 9 metres up to around 10 days afterwards though. Tense wait for Rocky. Now, further south, will the Darling Downs in the southeast escape another downpour? Yeah, well, across southeast Queensland and through the Darling Downs, generally it should remain relatively dry for the next couple of days. We have got the chance of seeing showers and thunderstorms later towards the end of the weekend on Sunday, but again, there'll be fairly light falls. Most of the heavy stuff at the moment, Max, has shifted further north, so again, we've got some pretty heavy falls for far north Queensland, but it is good news for these flood-affected areas through the south. Sure is. Thanks to Reuben Mourad at the Weather Channel. My pleasure. To the day's other news after the break.